Till now, we are not yet sure on where Declan Rice is going to be playing football next season. But all we can confirm to you is that he's not going to be a West Ham player. He'll either be playing for Manchester City, Arsenal, or Manchester United. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? And for all those reasons I'm going to hate to give you, looks like a Declan Rice assurance is needed as soon as possible from one of the three sides I'm going to hate to mention to see to it that he really finds himself there. And we are discussing a little bit of Kevin De Bruyne, a reason as to why Man City is pushing so hard to see to it that they get in Declan Rice, as their midfield options are really shrinking day in, day out. Mohamed Kudus back in the news, and he had taken a lot of time without being talked about, but Fabrizio Romano is going to hate to drop a very huge hint as far as Mohamed Kudus to the Premier League is really concerned. Is he going to your team? Stay tuned onto this channel. And guys, let's see close to 400 likes smashing this video, because you guys are going to hate to challenge me that every time I call in for 300, you get me 350. Now I challenge you for 400 likes onto this video. And continue to subscribe, guys, to see it that we hit 15,000 subscribers before the end of this month. And remember, today is 25th, meaning that we are 5 days away from really calling June a month. So continue to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So let's go eyes as it stands. The Mirror has gone ahead to report to us today that Pep Guardiola is determined to beat his former assistant Arteta to land Declan Rice after losing out of contract captain Gundogan to Barcelona. City are aware that Rice has been expecting to move to Arsenal for months after West Ham assured him they wouldn't stand in his way. Now, Pep Guardiola is a very good coach, and this is the test of his tongue, because where we are right now, both teams look like they can pay the amount of money that West Ham are really in need of. As we always told you that Arsenal are preparing their third bid, and they've gone ahead to confirm to West Ham that it's incoming as soon as possible because they want to get this deal over the line. Now, Man City have always asked West Ham to keep them in abreast of the current situation happening at West Ham as far as Declan Rice is concerned. And where did Man City come in through to see to it that Pep Guardiola enters this? When Arsenal made their second bid. When Arsenal made their second bid of Declan Rice, obviously it hit on the brick wall and it bounced back to Arsenal. It was like a springboard action. And guess what happened? West Ham communicated to Man City that Arsenal are just going to hit to put in a bid worth £90 million. 75 million pounds of add-ons. Sorry, 75 million pounds guaranteed. I think it was 80 million pounds guaranteed and 10 million pounds of add-ons. And Man City did the needful, and obviously he went in through and contacted the agency of Declan Rice to see to it that Declan Rice gives them green light to make a bid, to see to it that they really lodge this out of the way. And guess what? Looks like City have gone ahead to face it hard. However much Pep Guardiola is trying hard to convince Declan Rice to join the Man City side. And with the departure of Gundogan, they are soon losing Bernardo Silva. That means they're going to lose two players from their midfield. That weakens them a lot more. So Mikel Arteta has gone ahead and really told Pep Guardiola has gone ahead and obviously put his determination up to the levels that we don't even know, to it that he really beats Mikel Arteta on the signing of Declan Rice. But they've gone ahead to set a situation or a condition to Declan Rice that if at all you want us to bid, there is one thing you are requesting you to do, and this is what they're asking for Declan Rice to do. Manchester City wants assurances from Declan Rice that he'll join them before launching an official bid for the £100 million rated West Ham midfielder. And the Hammers are confident that a bid of £100 million is on its way from at least one of the interested parties. So, as Mikel Arteta is being threatened by the coming in through, or the intervening of Pep Pep Guardiola into this day to talk to Declan Rice. Man City are trying to really tell Declan Rice that assure us that you're coming to a club, then we'll go ahead and really lodge that bid. And even if you are the one in the footsteps of Mikel Arteta, and you hear that the best manager in the football world has gone ahead to contact a player that you've been talking with for months, as far as this Arsenal move is concerned, you wouldn't fail to get shocked, and obviously threatened, because Pep Guardiola, throughout his entire career, he has gone ahead to convince very many players to join him. But he's not this kind of person who's going ahead to sign very many world-class players. I mean, I understand that Barcelona, he managed to sign Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He signed David Villa. Which other world-class player did he sign? Alexis Sanchez. No, it was easy to convince him to come from the Serie A to join Barcelona. And at Bayern Munich, he never signed many. But at Man City, has gone ahead to bring in Kevin De Bruyne. Was not world-class by the time he signed him in, but Pep Guardiola has gone ahead to make him world-class. I think even Haaland, however much was firing in goals at Borussia Dortmund, he was not a finished article. So he rarely signs finished articles. That is Pep Guardiola. But this time round, he's going in for a player that they're competing with Arsenal, a team they almost lost a Premier League trophy to, something that has always gone ahead to really baffle Arsenal on how to do it. Now, after losing the Premier League to Man City, one of the things that Arsenal shouldn't allow in their career all this season, all this summer transfer window, is to lose Declan Rice to Man City. And that is what Pep Guardiola is working on tooth and nail, day and night. Why? It will be 2 kicks in the teeth of Arsenal, 2 hammer blows. Losing the trophy to Man City and losing your priority signing of the summer to them again. So Arsenal are working all in their reach to get this deal over the line. The beauty they're having is Declan Rice has not gone ahead to give 100% green light to Man City to take this to the next level. But what he's gone ahead to do is he has given Arsenal a deadline that if you don't get this deal over the line by the 30th of June, then I'll keep my options open. Like, Man United can come and talk to me. I can give green light to Man City, provided they go ahead and obviously fulfill the requirements of West Ham. So Arsenal are really working tooth and nail to see to it that they get this deal over the line before Declan Rice gives City a chance to go all out and obviously get it over the line. So that is it. Declan Rice assurance needed as soon as possible, and who is needing it? It's obviously Pep Guardiola, and Mikel Arteta is pushing on his side. Even Pep Guardiola is pushing on his side to represent Man City to see to it that they really convince Declan Rice to come in through and join the Arsenal or Man City side. But I think unless otherwise, Arsenal cannot lodge a bid of £100 million. But if at all they lodge it to West Ham, I don't see Declan Rice going to Man City. That is it. I don't see him going to Man City. Why? He wants to be in London. He loves Arsenal. Arsenal has been doing this job, all this transfer for a very long time. And I was watching David Austin, and he told us that there are deals that teams have gone ahead to work onto a very long period of time, like for 5 months, and the hijacks coming through. The first one talked about was that of Mikhailo Modric. Arsenal had been working on that deal for like 2-3 months, and Chelsea came in through and hijacked it. But why did they hijack it? Arsenal never made a decision on meeting the realistic evaluation of Shakhtar Donetsk, and by the time they met it, Chelsea was already in to also meet it, and obviously put on what we call realistic incentives and add-ons that outbidded Arsenal. There is a deal of Willian, Tottenham Hotspur. He was going to Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs had worked on that deal for like 2-3 months. Then Chelsea swept in through and took the player. Let me take you back. There are deals of Ronaldinho to Manchester United, deals of Drogba to Man United, Essien to Manchester United, Mikel Obi to Man United, all swept in the name of Chelsea. So never say that a deal is done before you see a player holding the shirt, because things can really happen to really alternate in a nick of time. So that's what you should know about. So that is it about Declan Rice assurance needed by City. And let's go to this Kevin De Bruyne story. And this story is going ahead to really give me a reason as to why Man City are really wanting to get the deal of Declan Rice over the line. And they've told us the following, that Kevin De Bruyne will miss the start of Man City's new season after suffering a grade 3 hamstring tear during the USL final versus Inter. The problem does not require surgery over the summer. But I think this injury has been long overdue on Kevin De Bruyne, and I think they just decided not to go ahead and obviously do the needful of treating him, because they thought that he was so much important when it came to the season of Man City, especially in the final bend where they were into the FA Cup finale, they were into the Champions League finale, and they're just some points away from lifting the Premier League. So they thought that they needed to go all out and obviously do the needful for the player, and finally they kept him on the field of play. But in this finale, you saw to it that he never even accomplished the first half, meaning that it had just gotten serious from grade 1 to grade 2 to grade 3. Now, where does this leave Man City? That means at the start of the season, Man City, if at all they don't sign in players, their midfield will be having Rodri, Calvin Phillips, and maybe this guy, Phil Foden, midfield 3. Then the front line, Mahrez, Haaland, and Jack Grealish. A situation that you'll always have on a daily. That is it. It will never fail you. It will always play well, but the problem is those two players we're going to hate to really inject into the team are not as creative as Kevin De Bruyne, or aggressive and creative and goal scoring as Ilkay Gundogan. So that's the reason as to why Mikel Arteta is going in for Declan Rice, because he might have a very bad start of the season not having Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan in his team. Though Kevin De Bruyne will come in later, but for Ilkay Gundogan, he's already joining Barcelona on a free. So they have to make sure that they keep Bernardo Silva if at all they are to find themselves in a situation of fighting for the trophy next season. Why? Missing out on Ilkay Gundogan for the entire life of Man City. Sorry about that. And missing out onto Kevin De Bruyne for the start of the season might really give Arsenal an edge if at all they sign Declan Rice. And that's why they found themselves in a situation of going mad at this deal, and they want to get it over the line as soon as possible. That is coming in from the City side, and that is a Daily Star reporting that Kevin De Bruyne is going to miss out on these games. And I understand how Kevin De Bruyne has a very good communication with Erling Haaland, and you saw to it that in the last games of the season, like last 10 games, Haaland scored like 1 or 2 goals because Kevin De Bruyne was really off. He was really off, but him being off while playing on the field of play is better than him not being on the field of play. That is it, because you at least expect a moment of magic from him when he's on the field of play. So I really anticipate that he's going to go ahead and obviously play a very, very, very wonderful job for the side of City, but it might recall, or it might see Pep Guardiola lose some of its games, because he's starting his first game against Burnley away from home. That's not going to be an easy one, as people might really anticipate it. After that, they are playing Newcastle at home on 19th. And all these games, you'd have to see your Kevin De Bruyne or your poster boy playing for your team. Then they'll play away at Sheffield United on the 26th of August. Then play Fulham at home. So, in these 4 games, if you don't have Kevin De Bruyne, especially the away games, they really become hard. Burnley and Sheffield are just newly promoted sides, and we know what they have on paper. They might really come in through and obviously cause in a shocker onto these sides. So let's wait and see how that's going to pan out. But obviously, it's going to be a very, very, very good and epic time for Man City. But with Ilkay Gundogan out and Kevin De Bruyne out for some games that start the season, obviously you'll understand that there has to be a reason for the City fans to worry, and we who don't support City, they're giving us a sign. Sorry, they've given us room for us to really jubilate, right? Now, Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and told us that Mohamed Kudus is one of the top targets for Brighton this summer. He's in the list. The interest is concrete, not an easy deal, but Brighton like Kudus. No concrete talks with Chelsea. Brighton have not opened talks for many years at this stage. So, as it stands, Brighton are in need of Mohamed Kudus. Why? Kudus is a very talented player who can play in all the attacking positions of the midfield. He can also play as a central attacking midfielder. He can play as a false number 9, and that is why he's needed. And when you look at how is it called, the guy is called Gross. Let me look at this guy. Brighton, where are you? I want to see really how it really happened. There is that guy who missed the penalty when United was playing. United was playing Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final, and he missed the penalty that costed his side before Lindelof came in through and obviously buried the back of the net. Let me look for his name here. I want to know his name. What is his name? What is his name? I want to know the name of the guy, because I want to tell you exactly why they're bringing in Mohamed Kudus. I want to see why they're bringing in Mohamed Kudus, because I've forgotten the name of that guy, but he's a very good player who plays off the right attacking side of the midfield and looks really great. I think it's S-Mash. Not so? It's S-Match, if at all I'm not mistaken. He plays onto that side and obviously brings in lots of fluidity from that side, and they want to be having almost 2 players in every position, because when he gets off, they get another player but he's not left-footed, and they want to get in Mohamed Kudus onto their side. And I really understand why Kudus is being linked to this team, because he's very much talented. But remember, Man United is being linked to Mohamed Kudus, Chelsea, you know. So we wait and see how that's going to pan out. But tell me your thoughts about Declan Rice assurance needed ASAP. Kevin De Bruyne injured and won't be available by the start of the season. What does that mean for Pep Guardiola? And lastly, what do you make about Mohamed Kudus to Brighton talks? I'm out.